Coming up next, an escape killer caught. More on his capture and new attention on Pennsylvania jail security.
It's a tough job that, not a whole lot of people want to do or not a whole lot of people really expect when they start.
Plus, the latest on a long roadwork project in State College that left drivers and business owners very angry.
And why the rules on donating blood and plasma left a former Penn State student surprised and frustrated. The Center County Report starts now.
Good afternoon, I'm Courtney McGinley.
And I'm Jaso Bardo. Thanks for joining us for the Center County Report. Our top story, a Penn State student is in jail without bail, charged in a deadly crash. Police say the accident killed another student, a 25-year-old woman from Sweden. It happened Tuesday night on East Park Avenue in State College. Court documents say 20-year-old Ahmed Al-Kabasi lost control of his car and it went onto the sidewalk and hit the woman. He faces vehicular homicide and other charges. And Center County's chief deputy coroner has died in a crash in Blair County. State police say Judith Pleskonka was driving on I-99 last Saturday when another vehicle hit her car. Reports say she got out and tried to cross the highway when another car hit her. Pleskonka was pronounced dead at the scene. She was 69 years old.
The escaped killer caught after a 2-week manhunt is now being held in a maximum security prison near Philadelphia. He's due back in court later this month. Reporter Cameron Lobley has more on his capture.
Residents in southeastern Pennsylvania are breathing a collective sigh of relief now that a 2-week manhunt for an escaped killer is finally over.
The radio room, Chester County government, and the various other agencies working on the prisoner escape are proud to announce the subject is in custody.
The big break came on Wednesday when police tactical teams captured Danilo Cavalcante not far from Pottstown in Phoenixville. He had climbed up the walls of a jail to escape and eluded search teams. He was spotted at Longwood Gardens and in other areas before law officers closed in. A DEA plane using thermal imaging technology found his heat signal, and K-9 units and ground teams made the capture.
Shortly after 8 a.m., tactical teams converged on the area where the heat source was. They were able to move in very quietly. They had the element of surprise.
The hunt kept the community on edge, with the fugitive changing his appearance, stealing a car, even getting hold of a rifle. Chester County's DA and the governor praised police.
Our nightmare is finally over and the good guys won.
I hope the good people of Pennsylvania, and indeed the folks all across this nation, got a chance to see how government is supposed to work, how law enforcement is supposed to work.
Cavalcante has been arraigned and will be back in court September 27th. I'm Cameron Lobley with the Center County Report.
Cavalcante is now held at a maximum security prison in Montgomery County.
That escape and massive manhunt has put the spotlight on security at PA prisons. Joey David reports.
Many people were shocked when they saw the video of convicted killer Danilo Cavalcante crab walking up a wall during his escape 2 weeks ago at the Chester County Jail. His getaway launched a massive Pennsylvania manhunt with 500 law enforcement officers trying to track him down. And it's a part of a disturbing trend of escalating escapes. The New York Times reports between 2015 and 2022, there were 14 reported escapes from Pennsylvania County Jail. That number has jumped this year.
Cavalcante's escape was at least the 6th prison escape in Pennsylvania this year. Some of these escapes have led county prison workers to not even notice there was even an escape for at least 19 hours.
Many are asking why the increase. Some say staffing shortages are a key reason and they're hurting security. Joel Zackrell has worked at the Butler County Prison for 4 years.
We wish we had more people, or we wish we could keep more people. It's just the nature of corrections.
He and others say it's a dangerous job, and chronic understaffing makes it more difficult.
It's a tough job that, not a whole lot of people want to do, or not a whole lot of people really expect when they start.
The Chester County Jail, where Cavalcante escaped, reportedly had more than a quarter of its full-time positions unfilled, and the tower guard on duty during the escape was fired. He worked for the prison for 18 years. Other experts say the way county jails are run compared to state prisons makes a difference, with local jails differing from county to county. I'm Joey David with the Center County Report.
State lawmakers have just announced new legislation aimed at improving safety and working conditions for prison and jail officers statewide.
Hurricane Lee continues moving north off the East Coast today with winds around 85 miles an hour. How close will it come to the U.S. coast? Student meteorologist David Guerrero is here with the latest. David?
Thank you, Courtney. Right now, the main story is Hurricane Lee, which is right now a Category 1 storm moving northwards at 18 miles per hour. So it's a moderate moving storm. 80 miles per hour winds is the wind level right now. And as it interacts with the low sea surface temperatures of the Atlantic, it will digress into a tropical storm and will make landfall Sunday morning around the Nova Scotia and the Maine regions. But I want to highlight that even if it's not a hurricane, it can still do considerable damage, especially with inland flooding. If you see a flooded road ahead, turn around and don't drown. But will this affect Pennsylvania? More on that in the short range forecast coming up.
Thanks, David. The State College School District is sounding the alarm about a serious shortage of bus drivers. It's forced the district to eliminate 5 bus runs, leading to longer travel times and late arrivals. The district is struggling to find replacements for drivers who retire or leave, despite more advertising and higher pay. So far, it's covering the existing routes with employees and contracted drivers. But if the shortage gets worse, it may have to change routes or expand how far students have to go to get to school.
A Ferguson Township path is back open after crews fixed a sinkhole this week. The hole opened a few days ago along Blue Course Drive. That forced the closing of the shared use path from Bristol Avenue to Birch Court. But work crews filled the hole Monday and finished repairs on Wednesday. State College's Calder Way Improvement Project is pushing back its start date. Major construction is now set to begin in January. Supply chain issues and business owners' input led to the delay. The project was set to begin after Arts Fest in July. It's part of the downtown master plan to make the area a pedestrian-preferred route.
And the multi-year Atherton Street project is implementing a new traffic pattern as work continues. I talked with PennDOT officials about the project's status, lane closures, and delays. HRI Incorporation and the Pennsylvania Department of Transportation are still making headway amid the 2.5-year planned Atherton Street project. The $30 million project includes repairs and upgrades to water lines, sewer lines, and drainage, as well as work on sidewalks, curbs, and the road. It stretches from Curtin Road to Westerly Parkway.
Starting to have leaks in it, so we're coming through and just upgrading all that to equal size or even larger size to accommodate for the growing infrastructure in the area.
With each phase of work, drivers have to deal with changing patterns in blocked off lanes. The new pattern has the center turning lane closed between Highland Alley and West Prospect Avenue. What would you like the community to know of State College and just neighbors that live close to the construction site that may be frustrated?
PennDOT just wants to let everybody know that we appreciate their continued patience as we complete this project. We wouldn't be asking people to endure this particular inconvenience if it wasn't going to be for the greater good of all of our constituents.
Police even issued a warning about extreme congestion last weekend to fans driving into town for a noon football game. The final phase of the project is expected to wrap up in November of 2024.
Center County commissioners have approved an almost $11,000 contract to test for hazardous materials at Center Crest. MG Architects Limited and Pinoco Incorporated are working together to collect and test samples to ensure safety for the building in Bellefonte. The renovated building will be used as a new common space for several county departments. The Out of the Cold shelter in State College has opened its first permanent overnight shelter. Since opening in 2011, Out of the Cold has moved its homeless shelter to more than a dozen faith congregations, relocating to a new location every few weeks. But it now has a permanent home on South Atherton Street. It's open every night from 8 p.m. to 8 a.m.
A Penn State student who went to donate plasma was surprised when he was turned away. Reporter Emily McGlynn takes a closer look at the reason why.
And it instilled in me that there was something inherently dangerous in engaging in like queer sex and having a queer sex life.
Noah Lewis, a student, went to BioLife Plasma Services in April to make a quick buck and help out his community by donating plasma. He showed up to his appointment, completed the pre-screenings, and had his blood tested. The final step was a survey.
As I was going through, one of the questions that came up was, within the past 3 months have you had intercourse with another man?
He answered truthfully. Then a doctor pulled him into a private room.
And she sits me down and she basically lets me know that because I marked that I had intercourse within the past 3 months with another man, that I would not be able to donate that day.
In May 2023, the Food and Drug Administration changed its policy on blood donor eligibility, quote, using a set of individual risk-based questions to reduce the risk of transfusion-transmitted HIV. Every donor will be asked the same set of questions regardless of sexual orientation, sex, or gender. The FDA says pre-screening eliminates up to 90% of donors who may be carrying a blood-borne disease. The same rules apply for blood donations, and the Red Cross is already in a pinch. It announced this week there's a national blood shortage. The organization's Nicole Rochella says they need more than 12,000 donations a day, but donations have dropped nearly 25% since last month.
We typically do see shortfalls in the summer months, being that people are traveling, there's holidays.
She also says recent Hurricane Idalia left many donations uncollected. In State College, I'm Emily McGlynn for the Center County Report.
Other medical conditions can also disqualify people from donating, including high blood pressure and epilepsy.
Will we see some great fall weather this weekend? The 7-day forecast is coming up.
Plus, it's harvest time in Centre County. We'll take you on a celebration last night where college students played a key role. Also coming up, a big bar fight spills into the streets of State College, and it's all caught on video.
So, I'm kind of new here, but I've noticed a trend. My human does this funny thing where she goes around and gets all my toys, and then she hides them in that basket by the door. But it's always the same basket, and it's always in the same place. And then she acts so surprised when I find them, but, she's putting them in the same basket. Again. It's like, hello, that's where you put it last time. You were the worst at hide and go seek.
Multiple studies have shown that marijuana can slow both driver reaction and response time, which can be really dangerous. He's here. He's here. Wait. What? I can't drive. Why? My. Oh.
Stream the best of PBS on any device with the PBS Video app. All your favorite drama, history, science, news, and documentaries, all in one place. Watch your PBS station live or catch up on the shows you missed. Discover new favorites from PBS and locally produced shows from your station. Get the PBS Video app now and stream the best of PBS anytime, anywhere.
We care about things that affect the lives of every American.
We are there at the front line
to get to the heart of what really matters in every issue.
This country has not seen this in 80 years.
This extraordinary moment in American history.
You're making such a huge impact.
Trust is at the heart of what we do.
Police are still investigating a big bar fight that spilled onto the streets of downtown State College. It happened Saturday night at Pickles on Allen Street. Several witnesses caught people in an argument and punches were thrown. Staff tried to remove the group from the bar. The fight continued outside where police intervened. One person was treated for minor injuries. Police tell us no one has been charged yet, but the investigation is undergoing.
Penn State University is asking the state for a huge increase in funding for the next academic year. The university is requesting a 33% increase amounting to an extra $120 million. Currently, Penn State's per-student state funding is the lowest of all PA public universities. In total, the university is asking for more than $483 million. A special election next Tuesday will be key to which party controls the PA House. The Allegheny County race has Democrat Lindsey Powell facing Republican Aaron Connolly Autenreith. The House is in a political tie after a Democrat resigned.
Along with election season, it's also harvest season in Central PA. Students from across the state have celebrated the night, and reporter Shannon Tanzo was there.
Cool, crisp nights and shorter days mean harvest time in Happy Valley. With fresh food, live music, and arts and crafts, Penn State's student-run farm celebrated its 8th annual Harvest Fest.
So I went last year because I took a gardening class, and we took a trip here for one of our classes, and they told us about it, and I went last year and it was super fun, so I wanted to come again.
Local chefs and caterers offered food samples. Stations were set up for crafts like making your own flour pounding and taking home succulents.
While people are here celebrating the arrival of fall, they're also able to learn more about the student farm and the future of its facilities.
So our farm hub, which we're hopefully trying to start fundraising for, it is going to be built like literally right over here behind where I'm standing. There's going to be cooking collabs out here where we're going to have an outdoor kitchen, outdoor seating spaces. We're trying to make it as low cost emissions, and we want to try to see if we can get it to like Ryland itself. We're going to have solar panels on it and all kinds of stuff. We're really excited for it.
Summer officially has another week to go, but here at the farm, it already feels like fall. In State College, I'm Shannon Tanzo reporting for the Center County Report.
While the student farm has remained a 1-acre plot, as the program has grown since 2016.
Good afternoon, Center County. I'm student meteorologist David Guerrero, and we saw a cold front roll in and really introduce us into fall, and this fall-like feel will carry on into the weekend. But before I get into that, I want to show how beautiful and nice it is, brought to you by a nice image of the Hub Robeson Center, and this will carry on seasonable conditions at 63 degrees, feels like 63, and it's also very comfortable as the dew point is at 48 degrees. Now, scaling back into the temperatures, not only is this fall-like feel affecting the Happy Valley, it is the case for the majority of the state. 69 in Williamsport, 69 in Harrisburg, and then as we head farther east of Maine, we'll see in the warmer side as temperatures at 70 degrees in Philadelphia and Allentown, but this is around average, so nice and seasonable overall. Then talking about the national level, Hurricane Lee is a Category 1 storm heading northwards at 18 miles per hour with winds at 80 miles per hour as well. And then as it heads north, it will digress into a tropical storm and will make landfall around the Canada and the Maine areas around Sunday morning. Even if it's not a hurricane, it will still be a very intense storm. So please have a safety plan ready to go if you are in those areas. But in terms of Pennsylvania, I can say with 100% confidence, this will not affect us at all, as high pressure will dominate our state for the next few days. Nice and pleasant conditions will carry on. Temperatures will be in 71 degrees later today. Then for tomorrow, we'll see temperatures in the morning 65 degrees. But the main story is a low pressure system below the Commonwealth that will bring showers and thunderstorms for the majority of Sunday. Then this will roll through and meander its way to the Atlantic, and we'll continue on with our dry stretch. Now, recapping our weekend, temperatures will be at 72 degrees, nice and sunny. Then for tonight, we're going to be in the cooler side with temperatures at 46 degrees. So if you're going to the State College High versus Altoona game, I recommend wearing a sweatshirt or a sweater. Then for tomorrow, temperatures will be at 74 degrees, almost a rinse and repeat of today. Still sunny, great day to go and play a game of golf or watch football, as we hope to see Penn State extend their win streak to 3 games against the Fighting Illini. Then for Sunday, we're going to see that low pressure system roll through, giving us chances of showers and thunderstorms. But overall, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, we're going to continue this dry stretch. Nice and pleasant conditions will be the name of the game.
Thanks, David. I'm really excited for this nice, cool weather. I mean, fall's my favorite time of the year, so it's going to be great.
Now, I wish it stayed warm a little longer, but if it's warm during the day and cool at night, I can deal with that. All right, we're going to toss it over to Carlos for sports.
Coming up in sports, Penn State football goes on the road for the first time this season. We look ahead to that game. Plus, Nittany Lion women's soccer hosts Maryland on senior night. Hear from head coach Erica Dombach next.
lose my skin. Think it's time I find my place here.
Fasten your seatbelt.
You're taking my breath away.
Float like a butterfly, sting like a bee.
Amazing. Well, what are you waiting for?
You belong here. This is your home.
What is your sense now of the humanitarian situation?
This is making me emotional.
This experience I'm going to carry with me the rest of my life.
I'll always be so grateful for everything you did for me.
There's a shelter pet who wants to meet you. Meet one today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org. Adopt.
I'm Carlos Garcia with sports. After a dominant win against Delaware last weekend, Penn State football opens Big Ten play against Illinois on the road tomorrow. In front of another packed home crowd, the Nittany Lions beat up on Delaware 63-7 on Saturday. Now, Penn State turns its focus to the Big Ten opener on the road against Illinois.
We're just experts of opening on the road, whether it's the first game, the second game, the third game, the fourth game. Not only in my 10 years, but I think over the last 15 years, we're experts. I think we're going to put an off-season clinic.
Illinois is coming off a 24-23 loss to Kansas, in which they allowed 262 rushing yards. Penn State will look to continue a ground-and-pound offense. Against Delaware, running back Nicholas Singleton scored a hat-trick of touchdowns, while his backfield partner Katron Allen rushed for over 100 yards.
Those guys have bought in to the idea that we have two starting tailbacks. We'll see how that goes week to week, based on preparation, throughout the week.
But Illinois is no walk in the park for the Nittany Lions. Last time these two squads faced off, Penn State battled injuries and the elements, and everything and anything went wrong. 2 years ago, Penn State was 5-1 at the time, but ran into rain and injuries. The Fighting Illini fought their way to a 20-18 9-overtime thriller. But with some new faces and coaches, the blue and white hope it's a different outcome on the road.
Yeah, we studied your normal 2-point play situations and overtime situations, but not necessarily back from 2021 in that game.
You can listen to that game live tomorrow at noon on Penn State's Com Radio with our broadcast team in Champaign. Now let's take a look at high school football, where District 6 has some marquee matchups tonight. The State College Little Lions welcome Altoona to Memorial Field at 7 o'clock. The Little Lions are 1-1 after last week's game against Hollidaysburg was rained out. Undefeated Bald Eagle will take on 1-1 Tyrone at Alumni Stadium at 7 p.m. Bald Eagle is 3-0 and coming off a close win over Penns Valley last week. And speaking of Penns Valley, they'll travel to Phillipsburg Osceola to take on the Mountaineers. The Rams are currently 2-1 and the Mountaineers are 1-2. Also tonight, the Bedford Bisons head to Penn Cambria to take on the Panthers. Bedford is 1-2 on the year, while Penn Cambria is 2-1. You can see highlights and post-game reaction from some of the games on a new episode of After the Whistle at 11:30 on our YouTube channel. Now on to the NFL, where the Philadelphia Eagles played their home opener last night. DeAndre Swift made his Philadelphia homecoming felt with 175 yards on the ground and a touchdown to help the Eagles beat the Minnesota Vikings 34-28. They're now 2-0 on the season. In soccer, the Penn State women's team plays Maryland tonight at home on senior night. 7 seniors will be recognized before the 6 p.m. kickoff. The Nittany Lions have had a dominant start to the season, winning 6 games and tying 1. They're ranked 6th in the nation. After an 8-day break, they open Big Ten play tonight.
It's a Friday night game, so we hope the community comes out and the kids in the community and the college students and all of the fans, because it's a big night in State College. This group is playing well right now, and our target is to go 1-0 this weekend, and we've got to really focus on this first game against a good Maryland team.
And at Rec Hall, the number 12 volleyball team will host UMBC and Seton Hall this weekend in the Penn State Classic. The Nittany Lions have only ever matched up against UMBC 3 times, pulling out wins in every match, most recently including the NCAA tournament last season. Penn State coach Katie Schumacher-Colley has had an undefeated record at home. Well, that's all for sports. Now back to you, Jason Courtney.
Thanks, Carlos. We definitely have a busy sports weekend for sure. Coming up, a Philly favorite is coming to Center County. Find out what the Classic is on the way. That's after the break.
They said I couldn't dream. Called me a piece of trash and swore that's all I'd ever be. Said a bottle couldn't see the ocean. Give up. Go back to the dumpster. But I didn't listen. I made my way. And now, I am what I've always wanted to be.
Stream the best of PBS on any device with the PBS Video app. All your favorite drama, history, science, news, and documentaries, all in one place. Watch your PBS station live or catch up on the shows you missed. Support your PBS station and you can get Passport, giving you full seasons, early releases, special collections, and more. Get the PBS Video app now and stream the best of PBS anytime, anywhere.
We care about things that affect the lives of every American.
We are there at the front line
to get to the heart of what really matters in every issue.
This country has not seen this in 80 years.
This extraordinary moment in American history.
You're making such a huge impact.
Trust is at the heart of what we do.
A legendary South Philly food shop is coming to State College. Pat's King of Steaks, the restaurant credited with selling the original Philly cheesesteak over 90 years ago, will open its second location. Owner Frank Oliveria will also partner with Rob Wasserman, a Philly restaurant owner who has connections to State College. He owns Snap Pizza and Big Dean's Hot Chicken.
Those are 2 great restaurants. I don't know
They are pretty good.
Yeah, you've had, what is it?
I've had Pat's cheesesteaks. Despite living in Pittsburgh, I have had it.
Well, I mean, I'll definitely try it.
Pretty good.
I'm not one to turn it down. That's all for today's newscast. We hope you'll join us next Tuesday for our local news update.
But you can follow us anytime for breaking news on our Center County Report Twitter, X, and you can see our stories and follow us on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and our website. Have a great afternoon.
This is a moment. There's a whole wide world out there.
This is a battlefield.
The river is the most important part of nature.
Humans have never done this before.
So many senses have come alive. We go with what the environment gives us. We are supposed to protect it.
It's a real drama and it's unfolding right in front of you.
This will show us so many things that we just haven't seen.
Change is coming.
Start a new adventure as big as you imagine. legend.